United States, a global superpower, has strategically placed military bases on far-flung islands, turning tiny specks of land into fortresses of power. From the Pacific to the Caribbean, these bases are not random. They're calculated chess moves in a game of geopolitics, control, and sometimes shocking ambition. In this video, we will discuss why the U.S. built bases on 10 obscure islands, revealing the hidden motives behind these outposts. 1. Guam, the Pacific powerhouse. Guam, a tropical island in the Western Pacific, hosts Andersen Air Force Base and Naval Base Guam. Why? Its location, 1,500 miles from Asia's mainland, makes it a launch pad for projecting power toward China and North Korea. During World War II, the U.S. seized it from Japan, and today it's a hub for B-2 bombers and submarines. Shockingly, Guam's strategic value overshadows its indigenous Chamorro population, whose land was taken for bases, sparking protests. 2. Wake Island, the Lonely Sentinel. Wake Island, a coral atoll in the Pacific, is a military outpost with no civilian population. Built up in the 1930s to counter Japanese expansion, its airstrip and deep-water lagoon were critical for trans-Pacific flights. Captured by Japan in 1941, it was retaken in 1945. Today, it's a missile defense test site, its isolation perfect for secretive operations, raising eyebrows about unchecked military experiments. 3. Diego Garcia, the Indian Ocean's secret. Diego Garcia, a coral atoll in the Chagos Archipelago, is a covert US-UK base. Leased from Britain, it was cleared of its native Chagosian population in the 1970s, a shocking forced exile to make way for a military fortress. Its runway supports B-52 bombers, and its lagoon hides submarines. Positioned to monitor the Middle East and Asia, it's been linked to CIA rendition flights, fueling global controversy. 4. Okinawa, Japan's reluctant host. Okinawa, Japan's southern island, houses multiple U.S. bases like Kadena Air Base. Post-World War II, the U.S. occupied Okinawa, keeping it until 1972, but retaining bases under a treaty. Its proximity to China and North Korea makes it vital for surveillance and rapid response. Shockingly, local protests highlight environmental damage and crimes by U.S. troops. Yet the bases remain a sore point in U.S.-Japan relations. 5. Puerto Rico, Caribbean control. Puerto Rico, a U.S. territory, hosted Naval Station Roosevelt Roads until 2004. Its strategic Caribbean position allowed control over Atlantic and Latin American routes. Used for Vietnam War staging and drug interdiction, its closure left economic scars. The shocking part? The U.S. tested Agent Orange and other chemicals on the island, leaving environmental hazards that still affect locals, raising questions about imperial overreach. 6. Midway Atoll, the battleground legacy. Midway, a tiny Pacific atoll, was pivotal in the 1942 Battle of Midway, a turning point against Japan. The U.S. built an airstrip and naval base to secure the Pacific. Now a wildlife refuge with a small military presence, its runway still supports emergency landings. The shocking twist: its strategic value was so high, the U.S. considered it worth sacrificing thousands of lives to hold. 7. Saipan, the forgotten outpost. Saipan in the northern Mariana Islands was a World War II battleground. The U.S. built bases like Isley Field for B-29 bombers to strike Japan. Today it hosts training facilities. Its dark secret? The U.S. interned Japanese civilians post-war, and indigenous Chamorro land was seized for bases, echoing Guam's story of displacement and unrest. 8. Johnston Atoll, the toxic wasteland. Johnston Atoll, a remote Pacific speck, was a chemical weapons storage site and nuclear test hub. Its airfield and docks supported Cold War operations. Shockingly, it stored Agent Orange and plutonium, with leaks contaminating the lagoon. Decommissioned in 2004, its toxic legacy lingers, a grim reminder of environmental costs for military dominance. 9. Kwajalein Atoll, missile testing. Haven Kwajalein in the Marshall Islands is home to the Reagan test site for missile defense. Its vast lagoon is perfect for tracking intercontinental ballistic missiles. The U.S. leased it post-World War II, displacing Marshallese to smaller islands. Shockingly, locals live in cramped conditions while the U.S. tests weapons, highlighting a stark divide between military priorities and human rights. 10. American Samoa, South Pacific. Watch Post, American Samoa's Pago Pago Harbor, hosts a naval facility, valued for its South Pacific location. Used since World War II, it monitors maritime routes. The shocking reality? The U.S.'s presence has altered Samoan culture, with economic dependence on bases clashing with traditional ways, creating tensions rarely discussed. Conclusion: these island bases, from Guam's bomber hub to Diego Garcia's secret airstrip, reveal a U.S. strategy of global control, often at the cost of local communities and environments. Built for war, surveillance, and deterrence, they expose a shocking truth. Small islands bear the weight of superpower ambitions, often hidden from the world's view. Thank you for watching.